When I was first persuaded to join Facebook, many years ago now it seems, I ended up with lots of friends, many of whom I hadn't had contact with for a good many years. At some point in the more recent past, I had a good cull on Facebook, not in real life, though temptation's often been strong. But now I've got far fewer friends, and among them is still a girl who was part of the youth group at our church in Winchester when I was a lad. She now lives in the Orkneys. We've had minimal contact over the years, but last week Facebook informed me she'd mentioned me in a post. Well, to cut a long and rather tedious story short, she'd mentioned me in a post on a page called Winchester Memories, where someone else had posted a scanned copy of a page from the Dandy in 1964 called My Hometown. Readers were invited to send in information about their hometown, and if it was published they would win a cowboy costume, a nurse costume, or a £1 postal order. In this copy of the comic, the hometown was Winchester, and the precocious young winner was my good self. My name, age and full address were all given on the page. This was a long time before GDPR. I remember winning the postal order because the publishers of the Dandy had forgotten to put a stamp on the envelope, and they ended up having to shell out sixpence of my prize to the postman as postage due. There's enough references in that little bit to now outdated concepts that any Generation Xers or millennials will be completely confused. Anyway, I had a look at the Winchester Memories page, and as it seems to be produced and viewed by many people of my vintage, getting old and hankering after the consolation of nostalgia, I was soon wallowing in a warm fog of memories of long demolished streets, once familiar shops and stores, and much loved leisure facilities that are possibly the reason that health and safety is now such a thriving industry. In a world that's changing so rapidly, and in a situation that means we're all desperate for some kind of escapism, looking back at what appeared to be happier times does have its appeal. It has to be said, though, that these were the days of frequent strikes, the 3-day week, very frugal living standards for most people, only 3 channels on television, and they shut down before 11 o'clock at night, regular football violence, crimpline suits, and a whole lot more that we're probably glad to be rid of. But nostalgia makes it all appear very cosy and comforting. I suppose we were probably less anxious then, and life seemed much more full of certainties than it is now. But it's not necessarily a good idea to seek refuge in the past. At least that's what the prophet Isaiah tells his beleaguered compatriots as they struggle to make sense of what God seems to be doing to them. In Isaiah chapter 43, and in verses 18 and 19, we read, "Forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I'm doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" For the people of Israel, the new thing would mean a return from exile and a new beginning in their homeland. Many people now are wondering if God's about to do something special as the current COVID-19 situation draws to a close, whenever that might happen for us. Others are musing on the possibility that society might have changed in all kinds of ways. Some are even expecting revival. I often wonder if the end of lockdown will mean an end to articles asking if the end of lockdown will mean an end to fill in as appropriate. We don't really want anything to change so radically that we look back on these past few months with a sense of nostalgia. But whatever's going to happen, and however long it takes to happen, our prayer should be that God will indeed bring lasting good from this experience, for us personally, and for our church, and for our nation, and that through it all, the glory will go to Him. So keep alert, keep smiling, keep praying.